Pedro will be coming by around 4 o'clock after the conference ends.
Great. And where will we be going after that?
He'll drop us off at the hotel by 5 o'clock, then we'll meet his CEO for dinner and drinks in the lobby at 6 o'clock.
Sounds good. That should be enough time for me to prepare the documents.
Will Ms. Jones allow Mr. Fernando to attend the conference in Zurich?
Well, Mr. Fernando's manager will have to give him permission. Ms. Jones is just the project coordinator.
The conference organizer has requested his participation. They want him to speak at the conference.
I'll be sure to pass that information along to Mr. Fernando's manager.
Ms. Wang, I haven't received your expense receipts for your accommodation and meals from your business trip to Tokyo.
Ron, I'm pretty sure that I gave them to Kelly in accounting along with the additional flight expenses.
Well, I'll have to ask her to forward them to me as soon as possible. The quarterly reports must be completed by Friday.
I'll see Kelly later today at the training seminar. Why don't I get a copy of the invoices? I'll stop by your desk around 5.
Hello, I'm calling from Johnson Auto to reschedule your appointment to have your car serviced on Monday.
Oh, I was really hoping to get my car fixed as soon as possible. Is there a problem?
Yes, we had hoped to get the required parts in on Saturday. However, it looks like they won't arrive until Tuesday.
Well, I'm out of town on business until Wednesday. Why don't we make it for Thursday afternoon?
I know I promised to give you a ride to the airport today, but I'm not sure what time we should leave.
My flight was originally scheduled to leave at 7 p.m., but it's been delayed because of bad weather. The departure time is now scheduled for 8:30 p.m.
That works better for me anyway. We should leave a couple of hours before so that you have enough time to check in.
That sounds great. By the way, where are we going to meet? What about in my hotel lobby at 6:30?
Are we still experiencing difficulties with the ordering software?
Yes, when inputting the customer's relevant information, an error message continually appears.
We'll have to write everything manually until we can have it repaired. Have you contacted the computer programmers we usually work with? I was hoping they could come by later today.
I have, but it doesn't seem like we'll be able to get an appointment until next week. It looks like we'll have another difficult weekend.
This piece of work created by Clive Anderson is beautiful.
I think it's great as well. It's the only time he's used watercolors, isn't it?
Yes, he usually works with oil paints, but I think he wanted to try something different.
Well, it really paid off. Shall we move on to see the rest of the exhibit?
This is Michael Duncan calling. I phoned a few weeks ago to arrange accommodation. I wanted to make sure that you have my reservation on file.
Of course, Mr. Duncan. Just a moment and I will check our system for you. You're staying for 2 evenings, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Now, are there any rooms available in the East Corridor? I've heard that the view at night is absolutely beautiful from there.
You're in luck, Mr. Duncan. I have 1 room available in the East Corridor. Unfortunately, it isn't equipped with an internet connection. Is that okay?
Have we employed a new caterer in the company cafeteria?
Yes, and I really think there's a big improvement in the variety of the food.
I agree. I was definitely ready for a change. I also like that the location was moved to the main floor. It's much more convenient for me.
It's much more affordable as well.
Drew, when are we meeting with Roy Thompson on Friday?
My apologies. I should have told you earlier. Mr. Thompson emailed the office this morning and rescheduled the meeting to Thursday afternoon. Are you still free?
As a matter of fact, I'm not. Please ask Mr. Thompson if Thursday morning would be all right.
I'll call him right away and then send you an email to confirm the time.
This is the office of the University Registrar. The office is open weekdays from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. and on Tuesdays from 9 a.m. until 10 p.m. Students may request transcripts in person during these times. Please also visit the university website to obtain information regarding financial services and scholarships available to students. Previously, we had allowed students to request transcripts and other services over the phone. However, we do not accept phone requests at this time.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you our newest manager at Pearson Consulting, Rebecca Sinclair. Prior to joining our company, Ms. Sinclair worked for a few years in the advertising industry. She also worked for First National Bank for 4 years. I would ask all of you to please make Ms. Sinclair comfortable and go out of your way to show her around the office over the next few weeks.
I wanted to make sure that you were all aware that you will be unable to access the computer system, including email access, beginning this afternoon. The computer technicians will be working on updating our systems with all the latest software in order to increase efficiency and reduce the number of system crashes. We ask you to save all files and documents prior to 1 o'clock today so as to not lose any information. When the installation is complete, you will be contacted by voicemail message. After you have received this message, restart your computer in order to activate the new system. Should you require any assistance, feel free to contact the Technical Services Department at extension 2151.
Are you benefiting from MJ Bank's special loan program for entrepreneurs? If you are not taking advantage of this opportunity, you might be limiting your small business from valuable growth opportunities. Regardless of whether your company is just beginning or if you've been around for several years, you'll find the financial planning advice from MJ Bank extremely helpful. Register for an entrepreneur loan before next Thursday and we'll offer you a 4% loan rate, which is much lower than other banks.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Wednesday segment of Music Today on CKRV Radio. I'll be your host today as we meet one of the rising stars in the music industry, country singer Bluegrass Jones. Mr. Jones recently released his 4th CD entitled Standing on a Corner, which is expected to reach the top of the charts later this week. An accomplished musician, Mr. Jones began performing when he was only 9 years old. Many of you will recognize his most recent song, Alone and Crying. Now it's time to listen to his new song.
It is my pleasure to welcome all of our colleagues here today to our San Francisco headquarters. Many of you have traveled here this afternoon from our international branch offices in Paris, Toronto, and Stockholm. As you have been informed, our purpose in meeting here today is to discuss how to improve the company distribution channels. There have been unacceptable delays in production over the past year as a result of a poorly organized system of distribution, and we are going to do our best to change that here today. If you have something to add during my presentation, don't hesitate to talk about your ideas with all of us here.
And now we are entering the Portrait Gallery, which is often called the Red Room and was built in 1831. It is well known internationally for its collection of portraits of British royalty. As we leave the Portrait Gallery, you'll notice the magnificent oak doors. Next, we are able to see the dining hall, where the royal family would enjoy their meals. The dining hall was originally constructed in 1830, but a fire in 1902 destroyed much of the wood panelling and needed to be replaced in 1903. We'll leave the dining hall now in order to take a short tour of the grounds. Afterwards, you will have free time to visit the gift shop.
Good morning, Mr. Henderson. This is Charlene Cush from accounting. I wanted to ask you about your monthly expense accounts. Your department was over budget again this month. Unfortunately, I have been given strict instructions by my senior manager to report all departments that are over budget. Would you like to send me a written explanation regarding why this problem has occurred? Or would you rather speak to my manager in person? Call me or email me when you have a chance. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am sorry to report that a scheduling error has caused our plans to change. The original plan was to meet at the restaurant at 7 p.m. and then to proceed to the theatre for around 9 p.m. Unfortunately, I have been informed that the restaurant reservations have been changed to 6:30. So, instead of arriving at 7 p.m., we will be meeting at the restaurant at 6:30 and then going to the theatre afterwards. We'll keep the same departure time to the theatre and meet at the theatre entrance before the show begins.
It is estimated that nearly 10 million computers are disposed of each year in the United States alone. These used computers are significantly adding to the landfill problems experienced by nearly every state. Local computer guru Clive Anderson has developed a solution to this problem. His non-profit organization, Electronic Helper, accepts used computers and electronics, and after upgrading the software, donates the units to educational institutions in developing nations. Presently, donated computers have reached students in the Central American countries of Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and El Salvador. Future plans include shipments to countries in South America and Africa. For more information on this cause or for ways you can help, visit www.electronichehelper.com.